Hi, INFOGEM here with the 10 shortest serving presidents in US history. If you want to find out who's on the list, make sure you watch the rest of the video. Let's get straight to it with number 10, which is John Tyler. He was in office from April the 4th, 1841 to March the 4th, 1845. He served the remainder of William Harrison's term. He was denied renomination by the Whigs and flirted with the Liberty Party, but was persuaded not to run by the Democrats, which was his former party. Tyler's presidency was rarely taken seriously at his time. He was usually referred to as the acting president or his accidency by opponents. Further, Tyler quickly found himself at odds with his former political supporters. Number 9 is Andrew Johnson, who served for 1,419 days. He was in office from the 15th of April 1865 to the March the 4th, 1869. He served the remainder of Lincoln's term, sought the Democratic nomination in 1868 but was unsuccessful. Johnson had an ambiguous party status. He attempted to build up a party of loyalists under the National Union label, but he did not identify with either of the two main parties while president, though he did try for the Democrat nomination in 1868. Asked in 1868 why he did not become a Democrat, he said, "It is true, I'm asked why don't I join the Democratic Party? Well, why don't they join me, if I've administered the office of president so well?" Number 8 is Chester A. Arthur, who served for 1,262 days between September 19th, 1881 and March the 4th, 1885. He served the remainder of Garfield's term, sought a full term but was not renominated. The Arthur administration enacted the first general federal immigration law. Arthur approved a measure in 1882 excluding paupers, criminals and the mentally ill. Congress also suspended Chinese immigration for 10 years with the Chinese Exclusion Act, later making the restriction permanent. Number 7 is John F. Kennedy, who served for 1,036 days. He was assassinated, as we all know, in his first term. He was sworn in as the 35th president at noon on January 20th, 1961. In his inaugural address, he spoke of the need for all Americans to be active citizens, famously saying, "Ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country." He also asked the nations of the world to join together to fight what he called the common enemies of man: tyranny, poverty, disease, and war itself. Coming in at under 1,000 days now, 969, at number 6 is Millard Fillmore. Now, he served from July the 9th, 1850 to March the 4th, 1853, serving the remainder of Taylor's term. He sought the Whig nomination in 1852, but lost to Winfield Scott. 4 years later, he ran again as a know-nothing and came in third. As president, Fillmore dealt with increasing party divisions within the Whig Party. Party harmony became one of his primary objectives. He tried to unite the party by pointing out the differences between the Whigs and the Democrats. Did this by proposing tariff reforms that negatively reflected on the Democratic Party. Another primary objective for Fillmore was to preserve the Union from the intensifying slavery debate. Halfway there now, and number 5 is Gerald Ford, who served for 895 days. He served the remainder of Nixon's term. He wasn't elected for a full term. In foreign policy, the Helsinki Accords marked a move towards detente in the Cold War, even as the former ally South Vietnam was invaded and conquered by the North. Ford did not intervene, but did help extract friends of the US. At home, the economy suffered from inflation and recession. Ford came under intense criticism for granting a pardon to President Richard Nixon for his role in the Watergate scandal. At number 4, we've got Warren G. Harding, who served for 881 days between March 4th, 1921 and August 2nd, 1923. He died in his first term. In April 1921, speaking before a joint session of Congress, he called for peacemaking with Germany and Austria. Emergency tariffs, new immigration laws, regulation of radio and transcable communications retrenchment in government, tax reduction, repeal of wartime excess profit tax, reduction of railroad rates, promotion of agricultural interests, a national budget system, a grant merchant marine, and a Department of Public Welfare. Big drop in the number of days served now with number 3, and that's Zachary Taylor, who served just 491 days between March 4th, 1849 and July 9th, 1850. He also died in his first term. did not take the oath of office until March 5, 1849, because March 4 fell on a Sunday, and Taylor declined to take the oath on Sunday because of his religious beliefs. The slavery issue dominated Taylor's short term. Although he owned slaves, he took a moderate stance on the territorial expansion of slavery, which angered fellow Southerners. Taylor urged settlers in New Mexico and California to draft constitutions and apply for statehood, bypassing the territorial stage. New Mexico was too small to act, but California, which had a high population growth from the gold rush, wrote a constitution that did not allow slavery. It was approved by the voters, and a new state government took over in December 1849 without congressional approval. And number 2, and serving just 199 days, is James A. Garfield. He was assassinated within less than a year of his first term. Between his election and his inauguration, Garfield was occupied with constructing a cabinet that would balance all Republican factions. He was shot by Charles Julius Guiteau, disgruntled by failed efforts to secure a federal post, on July 2, 1881 at 9:30 a.m., less than 4 months after taking office. And our number 1, and serving just 31 days, is William Henry Harrison. He was in office from March 4, 1841 to April 4, 1841. He died within a month of his first term. Harrison only had time for one official act, calling Congress into a special session, which he set to begin on May 31, 1841. He and the Whig leader Henry Clay had disagreed over the necessity of the special session, which Harrison opposed, but Clay desired in order to immediately get his economic agenda underway. But Clay's powerful position in both the legislature and the Whig Party quickly forced Harrison to give in. Harrison was the first president to die in office. So I hope you found that 10 shortest lived presidents video very interesting, especially in light of the recent election. Please give me some comments, give me some feedback. Who was your favourite US president? Who's your least favourite US president? Let me know. And feedback on the video in general. Give us the thumbs up, and if you want more videos like this, make sure you subscribe and you'll get them as soon as they're published. Take care now. Bye bye.